The world isn't fair, and the sooner you accept that brutal truth, the sooner you'll stop being its victim. Right now, this very second, someone less intelligent than you is being respected more. Someone weaker than you has more influence. Someone less skilled is living the life you crave. Why? Not because they deserve it, but because they understand something you don't. The dark psychology of human nature. You were taught to play fair. They were taught to bend the rules. You were conditioned to be nice. They were trained to be strategic. You were told that patience and humility would bring rewards. They learned that rewards are taken, not given. This isn't a motivational speech. This is a manual for psychological warfare. Once you learn these laws, you'll stop being ignored and start becoming dangerously confident. But be warned, once you see the matrix, you can never unsee it. Let's begin. Law 1. Fairness is a lie. From the time you were a child, you were programmed to believe in fairness. Parents, teachers, leaders, everyone told you the same story. Be good, be patient, work hard, your time will come. It sounded comforting. It sounded safe, but it was a lie. The world has never been fair, not in history, not now, not ever. Fairness is a story used to control you. It keeps you polite. It keeps you waiting. It keeps you obedient. It is a leash disguised as hope. And while you wait for your turn, someone else takes what you want. Not because they're better, not because they deserve it, but because they understand. Power doesn't come from fairness. It comes from strategy. Think about your own life. How many times have you helped someone who never returned the favor? How many times have you respected someone who disrespected you? How often have you stayed quiet, patient, polite, only to be ignored, overlooked, or crushed? That's not bad luck. That's programming. You are programmed to lose. Programmed to play by rules that others don't even respect. Programmed to give away your strength in exchange for a fake promise of fairness. The brutal truth. The world doesn't reward goodness. It rewards power. And power doesn't belong to the kindest, the smartest, or even the hardest workers. It belongs to those who understand people, their fears, their emotions, their weaknesses. So let go of the illusion. Fairness won't save you. Fairness won't protect you. Play to win, not to be liked. Respect those who respect you, but stop handing away your strength just because you were told that nice is the right thing to be. Because fairness is the story used to tame lions, and lions who forget their teeth become prey. Law 2. Ruthlessness is calm control. Most people think ruthlessness means cruelty. They imagine a heartless villain who hurts others for no reason. But that is not real ruthlessness. True ruthlessness is control. It is the ability to remain calm when others lose control. It is the discipline to master your emotions, even in chaos. It is the art of acting with logic, while everyone else reacts with feelings. Weak people let their emotions run wild. They yell when they're angry. They cry when they're hurt. They beg when they're disrespected. They argue, complain, hope to be understood. And in doing so, they hand away their power. Strong people, they don't waste energy like that. They watch in silence. They wait for the right moment. And when they move, it is precise, it is clean, it is unforgettable. Imagine this. Someone tries to humiliate you in public. A weak person argues back, gets defensive, looks emotional. Exactly what the attacker wanted. But the ruthless person, they stay calm. They don't argue. They don't beg. They respond with something sharper. A cold stare, a cutting truth, a bold move that flips the power instantly. That silence, that control, is what terrifies people. Here's the secret. Anger is a weapon, but only if you hold the blade. If anger controls you, you become predictable, weak, and easy to manipulate. If you control anger, you become unstoppable. Think of a lion. Does it roar every time it is annoyed? Number. It waits. It watches. And when it strikes, it ends the fight in one blow. True ruthlessness is not chaos. It is discipline. It is emotional mastery. The next time someone pushes your buttons, don't react instantly. Pause. Breathe. Ask yourself, what action gives me the most power in this situation? Then act, once, with purpose, with control. That is what separates the weak from the strong. That is ruthlessness. Law 3. Respect, likability. Since childhood, you were told, be nice so people will like you. So you smiled, you agreed, you tried to fit in. But here is the painful truth. Being liked is not the same as being respected. In fact, the harder you try to be liked, the less people respect you. Nice people are used like tools. They say yes when they want to say no. They stay quiet to avoid conflict. They forgive disrespect, hoping it won't happen again. But it always does, because people don't respect weakness. Now look at the ones who are respected. They don't always smile. They don't always agree. They don't explain their boundaries. They enforce them. They are not cruel. They are calm, confident, unshakable. People might not always like them, but no one dares to disrespect them. Machiavelli said it clearly. It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. This doesn't mean you must be cruel. It means you must be taken seriously. When you speak, people listen. When you set a boundary, it stays. When you say no, you don't explain. Don't feel guilty. You know your value. Here's the rule. If everyone likes you, you are too soft, too available, too easy to use. Stop chasing likability. Start demanding respect. Ask yourself not, will they like me if I do this? But, will they respect me if I do this? Because respect lasts. Likability fades. Don't be the nice person everyone ignores. Be the strong one, the one people know not to cross. Respect greater than likability, always. Law 4. Silence is a weapon. Most people cannot handle silence. They rush to fill the air with words, explaining, apologizing, justifying, oversharing. But silence is power. Silence makes people uncomfortable. It makes them second-guess themselves. It forces them to reveal more than they intended. Think about interrogations. The best interrogators don't scream. They don't threaten. They sit back, silent, and let the silence do the work. The suspect starts to sweat. They feel the weight of their own words, and eventually, they crack. In everyday life, silence works the same way. When someone insults you, don't rush to defend yourself. Pause. Stay quiet. Look at them. That silence will sting more than any insult you could throw back. When negotiating, don't rush to accept or decline. Let the other person speak first. Let them reveal their hand. Let their own nervousness push them to give you more than they planned. Here's the truth. Words are cheap. Silence is expensive. And when you master silence, you stop playing defense. You force others to reveal themselves. You hold the frame. Remember, the one who speaks less always holds more power. Law 5. Never explain, never justify. Weak people over-explain. They defend every choice. They justify every action. They try to make everyone understand. But here's the harsh truth. The more you explain yourself, the less powerful you appear. People don't need to know your reasons. They only need to see your results. If you say no, let it stand. No long excuses, no justifications, just no. If you make a move, don't explain why. Let people wonder. Mystery is power. Because when you justify, you're secretly asking for approval. And powerful people do not ask for approval. Look at leaders, generals, legends. Do they explain every detail of their actions? Number. They act. And their actions speak louder than any explanation could. So the next time someone demands, "Why did you do that?" answer with calm silence, or say, "Because I decided so." Simple, clear, untouchable. The less you explain, the more people respect your words, because authority doesn't ask permission, it declares. Law 6, control the frame, control reality. Every interaction has a frame. A frame is the invisible set of assumptions that shapes how two people interact. For example, if a boss calls you into the office, the frame is clear. They are in power. You are on trial. If you walk in, nervous, apologizing, trying to explain yourself, you have accepted their frame. But if you walk in calm, unshaken, and set the conversation on your terms, you shift the frame. The person who controls the frame controls the reality. Think about arguments. If someone accuses you, you're being selfish. The weak person defends themselves. "No, I'm not. Let me explain." But the strong person rejects the frame. Selfish? Number. I call it clarity. Suddenly the attack dissolves. Because you didn't step into their frame, you forced them into yours. Politicians do this all the time. When asked a hard question, they don't answer directly. They reframe the question into their own terms and answer that instead. People don't even notice. They just accept the new frame. That's the hidden law. Reality isn't fixed. It's negotiated. And whoever defines the frame defines the truth. Law 7. Distance creates power. Closeness feels comfortable, but distance creates respect. When you're always available, always present, always easy to reach, people stop valuing you. Scarcity is power. Availability is weakness. This is why kings, generals, and leaders of history rarely appeared in public. Their absence created mystery. Their distance created awe. Their presence became an event. Compare that to the desperate person who texts constantly, calls endlessly, shows up too often. They lose value with every extra second of availability. But when you create distance, when you step back, when you don't answer right away, when you make your time rare, suddenly people lean in. They chase you. They seek your approval. They wonder what you're doing, who you're with, why you're not available. Distance flips the power dynamic. So remember, do not fear being absent. Absence sharpens respect. It forces others to realize your value. Closeness is comfort. Distance is dominance. Law 8, the final truth. Now we come to the last unspoken truth of dark psychology. Listen carefully. All power is psychological. It is not about muscles. It is not about money. It is not even about intelligence. It's about perception. If people believe you are strong, you are strong. If people believe you are valuable, you are valuable. If people believe you cannot be broken, then you cannot. Reality is not fixed. It is shaped by belief, and belief is shaped by psychology. This is why the ruthless, the calm, the silent, the distant, the respected always rise above the kind, the loud, the available, the nice. Not because they are better humans, but because they understand human nature. So here's the final law. Become the master of perception. Because in a world built on illusions, the one who controls belief controls reality. Closing. You've now seen the hidden blueprint. The laws most people will never know, never dare to use. Fairness is a lie. Ruthlessness is control. Respect matters more than being liked. Silence is a weapon. Explanations are weakness. Frames control reality. Distance creates power. And perception is everything. This is not about cruelty. This is not about manipulation for the sake of harm. This is about survival. This is about strength. This is about reclaiming the power that was stolen from you since birth. By teachers, leaders, society itself, when they taught you to be soft, obedient, and weak. Now you know the truth. The only question left is this: will you remain a pawn in their game, or will you finally step into the role of player? The choice is yours.